needs to be. So with that, I'll turn it over to the superintendent for his spotlight on Conley Elementary School.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's a great honor to introduce the principal of Conley Elementary, Principal Laura Brooks. Conley is, again, a very high-performing elementary school here in Leon County and also one of the highest performing in the state of Florida. So welcome, Conley, and welcome, Principal Brooks.
Thank you. We appreciate the invitation to come and take the opportunity to brag with you guys about Conley. You've worked hard all day on our behalf. We appreciate it. We thank you for all that you do for us. And we are hoping that our little spotlight tonight will help you kind of see some of the benefits of your hard work and what you put into our schools. We're going to show you a little video. At the beginning, we're going to scroll through a lot of things that we pondered to talk about tonight and share. We have lots to brag about, but we actually landed on the topic of our gardens at Conley. And so we're going to show that spotlight, that video, and then we'll answer questions. Before we get started, let me introduce who's with me. Mrs. Sherry Johnson, she's one of our ESE teachers. Dr. Marcia Mill, our art teacher. Mr. David Schubert, our technology teacher, and Mrs. Lisa Urban, our assistant principal. So if we could show that video now.
Good evening. I'm Marcia Meal, the art teacher at Conley Elementary, and along with 5 other teachers, we wrote a grant to the Home Depot for $2,500 and were awarded that grant. We were able to make 16 raised bed gardens, each one fitting with the classroom unit of instruction and inquiry. Pre-K did a scent garden, first grade did a vegetable garden, and kindergarten did a garden around butterflies and their life cycle. The art garden was based on Monet and Van Gogh. Joey Antworth of Troop 44 was working on his Eagle Scout badge, and he came out and his troop members, and they filled all the gardens for us, built them, and it was incredible. We came back to the fall and we were ready to plant.
This garden was created because we realized that the students did not realize how vegetables were grown. It was also created to help the students learn more about the environment. This is a growing garden. This is a growing science lab. The students learned about the different types of seeds, and they got to look at it through a magnifying glass at how the seeds were different individually from the different plants. They also got to examine the root system of the plants and how each plant root system is different. They learned about the plant systems, the stems, how the stems suck up the water from the soil, how they get the minerals and their nutrients. They also have learned how to trim and harvest the garden. They've learned how to experience the garden through their senses. They've learned that the different herbs smell differently. They learned that the different herbs taste different, and then the vegetables we grew broccoli, for instance, and they got to pick the broccoli right from the plant and eat it, and they thought that was very cool. This is a continual project. We continually add seeds and plants to our garden. The students are always trimming and harvesting our vegetables and our herbs. And the staff and the rest of the school have benefited from this garden as well. This garden has helped our students take pride in our school and take pride in themselves, because they realize that they've learned and they've grown in their ability, and this garden proves it.
was able to write a Leon County Schools Foundation grant and was awarded $2,000 to make a sculpture. The title of the grant was Beautiful in the Garden, a career in sculpture project to promote reading. We're making a life-size first grader reading a book, and it will be done in bronze. Almost all the students in the school have participated at some level. Mostly the fifth graders have been working on it. We incorporated career goals, had guest artist Brad Cooley come in and help us with the armature. He's doing the molding for us, gave us advice on how to do the clay part of it. And then we also had people from native nurseries, Espositos, and several others come in and tell us about running a small business. We also gave some works to the foundation and sold them, and then we analyzed how much it would take, how much product do we have to make in order to make a career out of being an artist.
That's just a little snippet of some of the things that we've incorporated in our gardens, and we're very proud of them. We would like to open up to some questions if you have some for us. I know you've been here a very long time. One thing that we wanted to share with you guys tonight, we brought herbs and they're packaged for you, and Mrs. Johnson's students actually did that for you, and they're labeled. There are 5 different herbs in those little bags that you can take home and cook with. And I can tell you personally, I cooked a mess of greens, collard greens, out of that garden for myself, and they were excellent. So at this time, if you have any questions for our teachers.
Mr. Crumpler.
Any suggestions on how to keep worms off my tomatoes? I'm being facetious. Without all the chemicals. On a serious note, as a director of Parks and Rec with the city, we've just started, I don't even know if my board members are aware of this, we've started in the park systems here in Tallahassee with a thought or a process that's called permaculture, which is bringing in native foods and that are indigenous to the area, and instead of planting hardwoods, which we traditionally do, about 500 in our park system, we're planting everything from blueberries to kumquats to. But the point is that I picked up on your video is that so many children, and we take it for granted, so many children don't understand where broccoli comes from or where a blueberry comes from, and I just want to commend you guys for especially the 5 teachers that wrote the grant to help make that happen. It's just a neat thing. That's it.
Just to, not so much a question, but a compliment and some affirmation and thanks for the extra work that it takes to do this kind of work, this experiential learning opportunity that incorporates so many various learning outcomes across all the various disciplines that you mentioned. Who would think that art would be career exploration or financial planning for how much you'd have to make? This just tremendous extra effort. I know there have been lots of conversations about farm to fork nutritional initiatives, about actually utilizing these school-based farms to bring fresh produce or vegetables into our cafeterias and so forth. And I know that's another step along the way, but just to thank you for, I don't know if I told you all, I saw a science professor recently at one of our colleges. They did a video and they explained if we taught science the way we teach baseball, and then they did in the alternative, if we taught baseball the way we teach science, and that kids learning how to play baseball wouldn't actually be able to play till they got to grad school. And so the fact that you have hands-on experiential learning opportunities right there at Conley is really a terrific benefit to our students, and I just want to thank you for the extra effort that it takes to make that happen. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so
y'all.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good job.
We also have little seedlings for sunflowers.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for the gifts.
Okay, we can start all garden, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Now, if I plant and kill them, you're going to come help me, right?
Oh,
Hey, thank you. Wow.
I will too.
Oh, very cool. Thank you. Yeah, we might.
I've got just the
Rosemary
part for
and
this. Thank you.
Just smoke it.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Put them in full sun, Mr. Van Camp says.
Put them in full sun in a bigger pot.
Right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming all the way out to be with us here at the Howell Center as well, especially on a rainy night. Sorry about that.